What's going on, guys? I was not planning on filming for YouTube today. It's supposed to be my day off. I was supposed to just be out enjoying riding this thing. This right here is my KTM 990 RCR. I just bought this bike literally like 2 days ago. And as we open up the mileage here, let's get through all these stupid things. I already have almost 300 miles on this bike after only riding it literally for 2 days. If you guys don't know me, I live in Cleveland, Ohio. Right now it is winter where I live, literally talking like -degree temperatures. So I came down here to Orlando, Florida to ride my new bike. Travel 13 hours, about 1,000 miles. I'm just trying to make the point, I spent a lot of time and money in order to be here to enjoy this bike, which is brand new, it's under warranty, shouldn't have any issues. Well, lo and behold, I pulled up to a Buc-ee's gas station a couple minutes ago and literally just found that. That is a rip in the tire. So based off of a few Google searches that I just did, that is basically not safe to ride on. No tire rip is safe to ride on, but especially one of that caliber and size, unfortunately. However, I really didn't want that to ruin my trip, so I called the dealership as well to check to see, just to make sure. Again, I spent a lot of time and money to come down here. The psychology is I really don't want to leave Orlando just yet. I literally just got here. So I went ahead and called the dealership and they gave me the same response. It is DNR, do not ride status as of now. It is not looking too good for the KTM. So I had the thought, I was like, what if, do you think if I took it to like a KTM dealer down here, do you think that they could replace the tire for me, or?
I would assume yes.
All right, well, I guess I'll try to find the nearest one, hit them up, see if they're busy today. All right, boys, so I tried calling around to a few dealerships around here. I kind of all got the same answer from these Florida dealerships. They're like, bro, it's winter in Florida. We are swamped, literally. They are far too busy to be handling this Ohio boy's issues, and they have like blown up engines and stuff they have to deal with. They're like, the tires are the last of their concern, even it doesn't matter where I'm from, that is par of the course for motorcycle dealerships in my experience, but whatever. Trevor's not usually fantastic. The dealer back home, I asked if it is possible if I can get the tires replaced by like a secondary shop around here that maybe won't be as busy, because I'm capable of taking the tires off. I can take them into a shop. I have to buy new tires with my own money. I have that money, like I can spend the money right now, but I just want to make sure I get reimbursed because motorcycle tires are expensive. These are like $300 a pop. That's $600 plus labor. We're talking like $800, close to $1,000 for new tires after labor and everything like that, especially if I'm trying to get those done in a timely manner because I was supposed to be out of here by Friday. Saturday is Valentine's Day with my girlfriend, and he would be very mad at me. He was already kind of mad at me for buying this bike, but they would be really mad at me if I wasn't home in time for Valentine's Day. So this is kind of a time of the essence type of deal. My friend Ruse Wheels is at the Buc-ee's right now. I pulled off over here so I could like film and kind of talk about this, but oh, something before I get going here. There it is. The front tire is also split. So not only am I dealing with the rear tire, but that also happened as well. Awesome. This is low-key a deeper gash than the rear as well. So that is also cause for some minor concern. That is kind of whatever to me. Yeah, I'm getting blasted by exhaust. That is like a pretty decently big gash, but it's like a rear tire blowout. It's also not as scary as a front tire blowout. Allow me to remind you, this has all been under very low, like non-harsh conditions. Whenever I break a motorcycle in, which I am only less than 300 miles on this bike, I have been treating this bike like the princess that she is. Like, I'm not pushing this bike like it would be on like a track day. I'm not exactly pushing this bike to its limit, and this stuff's happening. Please don't hit me. My God, that would just be the cherry on top of today. All right, you got to see this, bro.
Oh my God, yeah, that is actually dangerous.
That is really dangerous, isn't it? What's up?
What's up?
KTM quality right there.
What issue?
That issue.
What the fuck?
Get ready with me to ride on a bike that has a DNR, do not ride order on it. So people who don't really ride motorcycles who watch my videos because they want to get into motorcycles, basically if you see that type of crack on your motorcycle tire, it is not safe to ride on. It's kind of like gambling. It's a low chance of it happening, but it's still a chance. That crack can end up getting deeper, end up leading to a blowout, tire pressure escaping. It typically happens when there's a manufacturer defect with the tire. So this is technically not KTM's fault, this is Michelin's fault. Also, it sucks that none of the KTM dealers I'm currently talking to are able to help me out with this issue.
Well, boys, enjoy the last few minutes of me riding the KTM because once she's gone, she's gonna be gone for a while. Assuming most likely if everything goes worst case scenario, which it is starting to look like it is, we are probably gonna have to pack up and go home a little bit early. It sucks, it really does, but this is the problem when you buy a brand new model year for a brand new bike from a company that doesn't make a lot of volume sales. You're kind of the test basket for the manufacturer when they first send out these bikes.
So I just got a call from the dealer on the way home. I'm gonna talk to my viewers real quick, and if you want to overhear it, this shit's kind of crazy. So I got a call from the KTM dealership back home. They got some bad news. they're basically telling me right now, because tires are a wearable item, it's a wearable item, same as like fork seals and things like that, generally, they're not covered under warranty. That is kind of, so he thinks that there's like a 50-50 chance. It's like, there's a chance they might get covered, especially because it's like a lower mile. The dealer's trying to sympathize with me. They're just warning me, KTM as a company, because KTM corporate is the one that approves warranty work. But they're telling me right now that there's a 50-50 chance that KTM might deny this as warranty, which is insane to me. Like I just said I'm trying to keep like a positive attitude. Okay, imagine like you just bought a bike, spent a bunch of money on it, bam, you got hit with a do not ride issue that is like a safety issue. It's like you can't ride the bike. Tires are split. And on top of that fact, we are sitting at 307 miles. The bike's not even out of break-in period yet. So they told me basically keep the tires on the bike, don't remove them, because if you remove them, then there's like another issue of like there was like some messing around with the tires. Keep the bike as is basically. Keep the tires on the bike, don't touch anything, and just take it back to the dealership in Ohio as fast as possible. So that basically means your boy doesn't have a bike to ride. It's time to go home tomorrow. So great. Isn't that awesome? It's awesome.
So my buddy just made a really good point. He's kind of made the point that like people will do this to their motorcycle tires if they want brand new tires. They'll try to warranty them by like, oh, I slashed a tire, I want new tires. But why would someone do this to a tire that only has 300 miles on it? Why would KTM as a company be stingy to a customer that just spent, you know, all the money I paid full price for this bike? Why would they try to be stingy, especially considering the bike's only got 300, the tires only have 300 miles on them. Why would someone try to replace a bike tire that only has 300 miles on it? Unless they like really don't like Michelins, but most likely they're going to replace it with another Michelin tire. It's not like I hit a nail or like hit something on the road that like put a hole in my tire or like bent the rim. It's like, oh, I want warranty on this bike. Like, no, that's as clear as day. Manufacturer defect front and rear. So the current plan for me right now is I'm just gonna chill out. I don't really want to load up now. I have no choice now. I have to load up and go home. I don't really want to load up yet though. It's kind of a really nice day. This is like the nicest day we've had so far, so I'm probably just gonna take my shirt off, go for a walk or something, get some sun. I am out here in Florida. What else is there to do? But I think as everything goes on, I think I have to leave tomorrow morning. So road trip in 13 hours sucks for only like a 2-day payoff. But hey, here's what I did. You know, I would be stupid, I would be remiss if I didn't think that it would be possibly an option. It is a KTM after all. There was bound to be issues, let's be real.
And I think what really just compounds this issue to become like the issue that it is the dealerships out here were not really helpful at all. The dealership back home, they're at least like they put in the warranty claim already, which is good, that's what I need. But the dealerships in Orlando not wanting anything to do with my issue because it would take them too long or they're too busy. I understand that. But it sucks because I remember when I owned my BMW like a year and a half ago at this point, when I had a BMW S1000RR, the reason it took them so long to fix the issue that I had with that bike is they were prioritizing people who were out of town. You know, people who are on road trips and stuff. This dealership, they really wanted to get their issues fixed so they could get them out sooner. Because they're from out of town, I lived within the city, so it didn't matter to me as much. I mean, it did matter to me, but it just sucks that now I'm on the other end of that where I'm the person who's out of town, but the company that I bought the motorcycle from, their dealerships don't care as much. It sucks. It's not a great situation, but we're trying to stay positive. Let's try to be happy. I'm gonna go get some food now, so I'm gonna be happy.
And just like that, boys, we're off on the road again. The crack in the tire is being shown off perfectly right there, as if to tease me a little bit. That was not intentional. Posted to the KTM forum, I was like, hey, check your tires. I don't know if I'm the only one dealing with this issue, but I'm just curious. Apparently these Michelin tires, so these are Michelins that are on this bike from the factory, they have reported issues of not having a lot of good cold resistance. So basically, if these tires are brought in extreme cold, they are susceptible to having cracking issues like what I had, which is insane for a motorcycle that was delivered in the freezing cold. When I picked this bike up from the dealership, it was 13 degrees out. Not gonna deny it was very cold outside. However, I don't think that should be my fault. When I took my V4 and my 765 to California, it was -4 outside. Both of those bikes had Pirelli tires on it. Actually, my 765 had 7-year-old Pirelli tires on it. Both sets of those tires were completely fine in the freezing cold, much colder than what this bike was subject to. I got a lot of really funny responses on the Reddit, dude. Reddit can be super helpful for stuff like this, because I would have never thought it would be like, just because the tires were exposed to cold. There were some people that like to ride in like sub 30 temperatures Fahrenheit. Like, that's just insane. It's insane to me personally, but to have tires that just snap on a stock bike because they were exposed to cold just feels like a bit of an oversight on KTM's part. It still feels like it's not fully KTM's fault, but they should be equipping their bike with better tires like every other brand in the country. Sucks that we have to cut the trip short. I paid a lot of money to come down here, a lot of my time to not even get mission accomplished. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to have this bike out next. I'm probably gonna get the tires replaced. I have to, obviously. But the weather in Ohio still sucks. So, not sure what to do about that, but I guess we'll figure it out.
No, between the quick shifter not working and obviously the tire issue, I sometimes worry if I have a habit of over-analyzing or like oversharing the bad stuff. And I don't talk about the good stuff about my bikes enough, maybe sometimes. I don't want people to think that I just like bought a bike and I just immediately hate it. Complete opposite, I promise. The few miles that I did have this bike and that everything was working, well, everything besides the quick shifter was working and everything felt great, it felt exactly that. It felt great. I really enjoyed riding the bike for what it is so far. I unfortunately didn't get it out of break-ins, so again, I don't want to give my full final thoughts because I'm nowhere near even exploring the full extent of the bike. But in terms of just riding the bike around the city, puttering around, it's really good at that. The bike's fine, it's back there, she's surviving just fine, but something I keep getting is old dudes keep coming up to me at gas stations on my way back up. I wasn't gonna say anything, but it's something that keeps happening with this bike, so that's kind of cute.
Well, boys, here she lays. Let's get this open because we got a lot to talk about.
Well, boys, we are back in freezing cold Ohio. It's currently 29 degrees outside, so we're probably not gonna be riding anytime soon. We made it safely back with the KTM. I stopped recording last night just because I got way too tired driving 13 hours all in one shot, but I just wanted to explain, I kind of wanted to reiterate just in case at this point wasn't apparent. If I didn't make this point earlier in the video, I just want to include this part. I'm getting a lot of DMs from people on like Instagram and stuff like, why did I choose to come home? Why didn't I just replace, like, wouldn't it be easier to just replace the tires while I was in Florida? Well, it was mainly the two factors. One, the KTM dealerships down in Florida were not willing to help me out. I had to be home on time for Friday for, it is Valentine's Day this weekend. My girlfriend would leave me if I wasn't home for that. So given that information, along with the KTM dealership back home told me that they would not be able to reimburse me if I replaced the tires by myself. And as of right now, the current situation, I won't know for sure until I bring this bike into the dealership, but it is sounding like they are going to replace the tires for free, which, hey, that's sick. You know, these are motorcycle tires. I've never had this issue on any other motorcycle tire I've ever owned. If you guys remember on this YouTube channel, I literally had the V4 and the 765 out in -4 when I was, or like -13 degrees or something like that when I was driving out to California. Both of those tires are right here. I just checked them. They're totally fine. So, I mean, I had a couple people pointing fingers at me being like, oh, don't take motorcycles out in the cold, but like I've done that in much harsher conditions with no problems. This is a problem that is exclusive to these Michelin tires that at the end of the day, KTM chose to put these tires on their motorcycle. So my frustration is still directed towards KTM. I mean, these bikes were delivered in the cold. Like these are, I took delivery of this bike in February. It's cold outside. It's historically one of the worst winters we've had since 1970s or something like that. I saw a lot of comments, like a lot of sentiment of like, oh, just replace the tires yourself. And it's like, no, I spent a lot of money on this bike. People who are watching this video are spending a lot of money on their motorcycles, especially if you buy them brand new. And the expectation that you buy a brand new motorcycle and when something goes wrong, you're paying a little bit extra when you buy a brand new bike. So you have the peace of mind and security that if something goes wrong, you can get that stuff fixed for free. There's a warranty on these bikes for a reason. And when a manufacturer chooses to ship a bike with something, even if it's the tires, like the tires they didn't make themselves, there's still the expectation that this problem should be fixed if it's not someone's fault. When you buy a used bike, yes, you're saving money on the used bike, but then you also have the expectation if anything goes wrong, you're kind of on your own. So this is, I want my viewers to understand when you buy a new bike, there is this expectation that you should be taken care of when things happen. Luckily, I think that is the case, so thank you, KTM, that is good. Hopefully, I will keep you guys updated on that one. But it still sucks having to drive 26 hours in 3 days, only getting to ride for one full day. That really sucks, and that was a complete waste of my time. You know, the entire drive home, I'm like, that was a complete waste of my time. I didn't even get to finish breaking the bike in, which was the whole point of going down to Florida, was to break the bike in. I really didn't think I was gonna have any catastrophic issues that would prevent me from riding the bike down in Florida, but so, and it's kind of the last thing I expected to have happen. But hey, this is kind of why I'm the test dummy for a lot of this stuff, is I make the mistakes so you don't have to. So just be aware if you buy a KTM, if you bought the 990 RCR, make sure you check your tires, especially if you live in a colder climate. Even if you aren't riding the bike in the colder climate, it's just a good idea to check. So I'm glad I could be the test dummy for this one. Hopefully you guys learned something from this video. And with all that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Hopefully we can get this fixed next time. I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.